Hi friends, I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial and showing you how you can enter a smart trade on the Cryptocurrencies.Ai smart trading terminal. So as you can see, I've logged into the trading platform already under my test account, and I have the trading terminal open. And the first things, just to give a brief overview, you can see here, there's a trading view chart. If you wanted to do your analysis, you can see the order book here. And at the bottom, you would see the traditional, order entry types that you would find on other exchanges. But the main thing that I would like to demonstrate is the smart trade feature. So once we're in the smart trade, you'll notice that the whole layout changes. And that's because in order to enter a smart trade, we can specify many different criteria all at once, and then just click simply create trade, and it'll do all the work for us by creating all the different type of orders that we want to be able to execute at any given moment. So as you can see here, we start off with the entry point. The first thing, and by the way, this is a futures terminal. We also have spot trading, but for this tutorial, I'm going to stick to the futures terminal. As you can see here, we can adjust our leverage. For this example, I'll just keep it to something like 10. Will not go all crazy, although we can go as high as 125x. And then I can select here, do I want to open a long or a short? I'll do a long. We can select between a limit market type. And one of the interesting things is that we can also enter a trailing buy or a trailing long or a trailing short by specifying what our activation price is and then what our price deviation should be for trailing. To keep it simple, I'm going to turn this off, just go in with a simple market buy. As you can see, it's the market price, quantity in BTC, and then the value in USDT. And then this bar here, this slider is going to adjust my initial margin. So as I adjust it, you can see at 10x, my total US dollar position changes. Now to the more interesting things. Then we have a stop loss section here where we can do various different things. So for instance, we can enter a market order, a limit order, and then adjust our stop loss percentage as necessary. Now, one key feature that we also have is the timeout option. So for instance, if you're a trader who's trading on some trend lines, oftentimes what happens is the price drops below the trend line with a long wick down just for a couple of seconds, and usually a lot of stop losses get executed at that point, and then the price jumps right back up within the range. So what we could do here is you can set your timeout options here in seconds or in minutes. And if I put, let's say 20 seconds, then what this will do is if my stop loss of 20% has hit, for instance, and the price dropped below the 20% threshold, we're going to wait 20 seconds to see if that price is going to hold. So once it drops under 20%, we're going to wait 20 seconds, and then we're going to check if the price has gone back up above this 20% stop loss, then no stop loss will get executed. If the price is still below the 20% stop loss level here, then it's going to execute that stop loss. But once again, it's an optional setting. You can set it, or you can keep that out by deselecting the timeout and just go with a simple stop loss. And then the same thing with take a profit section. We have a couple of different settings here. Of course, we have the market and limit orders here, but then you can also enable the trailing take a profit, and that will enable the trailing, and then you can activate you can specify your activation price, your trailing deviation here. If you do not want to do a trailing, you just want to do a simple take profit percent, it's going to execute that for you. And then at the same time, you can set up multiple targets for take profit. So you can say, I want to take profit at maybe 25%. I want to sell 50% of my position. All right, so as we can see, we already have 100% quantity specified. That's why I cannot slide this. So let me cancel this. And then I can say that I want 50% at 25% profit level, and then maybe, I don't know, we want a lot of profits on this trade. So we'll put 50% of my profit at, I want another 50% of my position sold once my profit is reached. It reaches 50%. And we can add multiple targets here. I mean, this is just an example. So now that I've come in here very easily within one trade, within one entry, I have set up my entry position, my stop loss, and my take profit levels at 2 different levels. Then all I simply have to do is hit create trade. I can look at my options here once again, just to confirm the settings that I've selected for this trade. And once I hit confirm, that starts creating the process in the background, and you'll get a notification here that your orders have been placed. And as you can see, we're in business. So what it did was, one, we were able to enter a long position for this size. That's the entry price for us at this moment. And as you can see here, this is the position that we have open. But at the same time, you'll notice that you have multiple orders which were entered immediately for your take profit levels. So it splits up your positions, it shows you your prices at which this would execute. So at 76.46 is the first take profit, and 74.64 is the second. And then I also have my stop loss order entered here for 71.36. Now I can come here, look at my smart trade tab as well. This is a tab that's unique to this platform. And over here, you'll be able to see how you had entered and with which settings. So you can see here, you had a buy here. So this gives you all of the data that you had actually entered while you were entering the trade. So you can see here your side, your pair, the price at which you entered, total amount, and then you had take profit enabled with 2 targets. And then at the same time, you have a stop loss here, minus 20%, and that's a market order. And if you wanted to close this position manually at any point, you can obviously close it from the positions tab, or you can just come here, and we already took a 2% loss on this position. But what I will do is I will close this at a market, and it will basically say that smart order has been disabled, and all of my positions and orders have been executed or canceled, as you can see here. So my sell, which closed the position, filled, and the rest of the orders have been canceled. And here is the trade history as well. Now, once again, you can enter very simple orders that you would like, but generally you would be entering 4 or 5 orders one at a time manually on other exchanges, whereas on Cryptocurrencies.AI and using the smart trade functionality, you can come in here and you can create a lot of different customized settings based on the trade setup that you would like to have, and it does all the work for you. So it's just a few clicks, very easy. You create a trade. One thing here as well that we've done is we have made it mandatory for a trader to select a stop loss percent and take profit, just so that we can keep the best practices in place and always have a stop loss and take profit levels when we're entering a trade.